See them batter their way through new backbenchers with old friends. Correction fiends.
Holy dark canyon.
I'm not just pussyfooting around this time, Batman.
Meet their wild, weird new Batversaries, the archest criminals of all crime. Be with Batman and Robin twice weekly, in color, of course.
Batman creator Bob Kane and some of the cast from the Batman television series. Adam West is here, and Julie Newmar and Frank Gorshin. And joining us now is the designer of all those fabulous costumes that we all love so much on the Batman TV series. Please welcome Jan Kemp.
Thank you, Vicki.
Now, you know, I said this from the beginning of the show, and nobody seems to want to verify it for me, but this whole thing seemed like it was kind of chaotic, this series.
It was chaotic.
So that had to wreak havoc in the wardrobe department.
Wreak havoc, you have no idea. Actually, it took a lot of vivid imagination to encompass all the work that had to be done in a short time.
So how quickly did you have to make, how quickly you said you didn't know who was going to show up as a guest.
Correct.
So how quickly did you have to design, give me an outfit for Ethel Merman?
Well, 24 hours before she was to go on stage. Sometimes it's pretty awful, yeah.
Yeah. So what did you go by Bob's sketches at all, like his original characters?
Not really. When I first got the concept of doing the Batman series, I thought, well, I've got to get to know what's going on. And I bought myself a lot of Batman comics and shut myself in a room and just studied comics. Mm-hmm. And from that point on, it was a case of using my imagination.
Yeah.
I would take, for example, Adam, the character of Batman. I started by drawing a pencil sketch on a pad. Mm-hmm. Having got the sketch the way I wanted it to look, I would then proceed to doodle with crayons, making the sketch have the colors that I felt I liked. Finally wind up with a finished sketch with watercolors. Then I would spend ages shopping for fabrics. Oh, yes.
Yeah?
And get the fabrics and put little samples on the sketch so the people who were working on it, like seamstresses and tailors, would know exactly what had to go where.
Yeah. How big a staff did you have to do all this
We had something like 5 seamstresses and 5 tailors.
Yeah. The hardest costume you ever had to make?
The hardest?
Quickest? Most difficult?
I think the biggest challenge probably was Victor Buono. He was a very large actor.
That would be a big challenge.
A big challenge.
That would be. Do we have a
Now, you would think that making one costume for Victor Buono would be quite sufficient. But they decided to have a water wagon from the city pour water all over him. So I had to make a second costume.
Oh, there he is. No.
Yeah, there he is.
Who did he play? Tut?
He played King Tut.
King Tut.
Yeah.
And when I got so many fabrics in the tailor shop, the people around the studio started calling me Omar the tent maker.
You're the one.
Yeah.
You're the one. Now, did you have any input into the making of Catwoman?
Oh, as to the fitting, yes, Vicki, yes.
Did you?
Yes.
With the Catwoman,
quite the bod, eh?
With the Catwoman, we decided to take the example of a black, slinky cat and try to produce a sensual feeling in a female. And to do so, we used elasticated lame, which has a glitter.
Really? Now, where are all these? Do you have any of these costumes? Does anybody have any of these costumes?
They've all disappeared over the years.
I have several.
Do you?
You do?
Yes.
Is that where they go into?
That's right. And I've never...
the costumes, have you?
I've never told anyone this until now. I felt that somehow compelled to say something today because Jan's here. Jan, I'm sorry. I took a couple of Batman costumes, a Robin costume, a King Tut, which we're still camping out in.
Yes.
And
I'm sure you are.
No, I've got some gear. I've got some stuff.
That's great.
Now I know why Trenchard Centre Fox said to me, well, our inventory is short. Where's the rest of the costumes?
Well, now we know.
They're in your garage,
Yes.
right?
Now we know.
But I'm going to donate them to a charity and to the Smithsonian.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
For a price.
Well, what, yours is in a museum. Yeah, your Catwoman suit. Didn't you give it to Debbie Reynolds?
Debbie Reynolds.
Did you have a question, Mr. Kane?
All the costumes I designed in the comic book, except they changed Catwoman's into an original television costume from the comic book.
Yeah.
Adams was the same, Frank Gorshin was the same, and I take some credit for the costumes.
I agree.
Well, I hope so.
We're going to take some credit for the costumes right now, although most of the original costumes have been lost, destroyed, or stolen by Adam West. We have managed to put together a little fashion show, some of our favorite villains and characters from the Batman TV show. So kids, here we go to the Batcave.
Holy Harlequins, Batman! It's the Joker! The Riddler! Catwoman! Mr. Freeze, Batman! Oh, darling! What do we do, Batman? Steady, Robin, steady! Holy hieroglyphics! Get the spray, Robin. Good work, son. Thanks, Batman.
Total abandon.
Hey, kid. Hey! Riddle me this, Batman. What has 200 heads and only one eye?
I don't know.
That would be audience. It's an audience full of Batman fans with lots of questions when we come back.
You're right.